Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this is Hawk Talk, presented by View Rooftop, downtown Iowa City. Also brought to you by Bud Light, it's for the fans. Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa football. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Authentic Brand, unique Hawkeye apparel at authentic-brand.com. And by Iowa Office of Secretary of State. Visit voterready.iowa.gov. Get in the game, be a voter. Now, here is your host, the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, it's back to work. The bye week is over. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hawk Talk from View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City. I am Gary Dolphin. We've got a number of guests tonight. Of course, most notably, Coach Kirk Ferentz will be here shortly as we get into the second half of the season. And what a way to start as the Hawkeyes head east to the Birds are heading south after the last couple of nights, 20-degree temperatures. The Hawks are going to head east to the Shoe, as they affectionately call the Horseshoe in Columbus, and Ohio State University. First time in a long time that Iowa's been in Columbus to play the Buckeyes. First time in a long time these two teams have actually met on the field. You go back to 2017, 5 years ago, and of course we all remember that one if you were there that night. I think 1.5 million people have said they were at that 55-24 spanking that the Hawks put on the Buckeyes, and no doubt Ryan Day remembers that and has probably brought that up a time or two this week. But this is a new year. This is a new game. These are new teams. But not much changes in Ohio, at Ohio State. It's the second-ranked Buckeyes this year, at least second-ranked currently, and man, are they on a roll. They're legit 6-0 as the Hawkeyes face their second top-5 opponent of the season. Michigan was visiting Kinnick Stadium a few weeks back. Ohio State awaits now at 6-0. After a bye week, the Hawkeyes are at 3-3, 1-2 in the Big Ten West, and looking forward to our trip out to Columbus. Now, the offense has struggled really to get anything going consistently. The Hawks are down near the bottom in Division I, statistically speaking, in running the football and total offense. But the Hawkeyes rank third nationally in scoring defense, allowing but 10 points a game. Iowa is third in passing yards allowed and seventh in total defense. Now, that passing stat is important, because Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud has been on fire, throwing for 6 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. Those were lopsided victories over Rutgers and Michigan State. Stroud, the Heisman favorite at the halfway mark of the year, has thrown 24 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions. The Buckeyes are the first Big Ten team, now listen to this, the first Big Ten team since Michigan in 1946 to score 45 or more points in 5 consecutive games. They've outscored opponents by an average of 38. It has a lot to do with an offensive line that runs and pass blocks equally well, led by All-American tackle Paris Johnson. Ohio State has yielded just 4 quarterback sacks all year and is converting 54% of its third down chances. So you've got 2 immovable objects colliding on Saturday, that talented and legit Iowa defense against an Ohio State offense that is putting up roughly a little over 50 points a game. But hey, that's why you play the game, right? It doesn't matter what the point spreads are, what the predictions are. You got to play it on game day Saturday. And you'll hear it right here on the Hawkeye Radio Network starting at 9 o'clock for our pregame coverage and 11 o'clock for the kick. As I mentioned, we're at View Rooftop. Good to be back after a week off. We're here every Wednesday night now from this moment on to the end of the season with Hawk Talk and Iowa football coach Kirk Ferentz. But you can stop by on football Saturdays as well to View Rooftop and really experience a unique get-together in downtown Iowa Iowa City. Immerse yourself in an invigorating environment with comfortable contemporary indoor and outdoor seating, high-definition televisions for watching the game, tailgate specials, and live music. Enjoy the camaraderie and celebrate with a toast at View Rooftop in the Hilton Garden Inn in Iowa City, just off Clinton Street. Call for reservations at 319-519-4650. 319-519-4650. Hawkeyes at Ohio State on Saturday. This week, yesterday, today, it was announced that, in fact, it was today, University of Iowa senior linebacker Jack Campbell and junior punter Tory Taylor have been named to multiple mid-season All-America teams. Campbell is named All-America as selected by the publication The Athletic, ESPN, Sporting News, and CBS Sports. Tory Taylor, who is second in the Big Ten and fifth nationally with 46 yards per average on punts through 6 games. He has 15 punts of 50 or more yards. Tory is on a number of those All-America mid-season units as well. With that as a backdrop, we welcome in Iowa Athletic Director Gary Barta to share the podium, to share the head table here for a few minutes tonight. Nice to see you. I know you were very busy on the bye week watching other sports as you get paid to do.
Well, it was the bye came at a great time, but I've been asked several times, what'd you do on the bye week? Well, I said I went to soccer games and volleyball matches and watched some of our other fall sports, and it is a good time for me to get a chance to see some of our other teams in action.
How about the Iowa men's golf team? Won the Iowa Invitational down at Blue Top Ridge and Riverside on Monday. Actually, it was over the weekend, 54 holes. Mac McClear, who is a former Big Ten Golfer of the Year, was individual medalist. They were battling the elements.
They had to, yeah. I didn't make it out to watch our golf team.
Imagine that. You didn't walk around.
I would have needed a parka and other warming materials. But, yeah, great job. You know, one of the things that our golf team has historically done is try to get their ranking up in the fall with wins like this. Yes. Because we know going into the spring it's a little bit more challenging with the weather. So, great job by Tyler and his team getting that victory.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later on here in our first half hour. But Gary Barta is here tonight to not only enjoy the atmosphere that the View represents and presents each and every Wednesday night on Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz, but to talk to our fans, talk to our supporters about the first half of this season, the ups and downs of this Iowa football team that has, as I just mentioned, statistically, one of the best defenses in America, one of the great special teams in America. This offense has struggled running and throwing the football, or finding some consistency, I should say. But they sit here at 3-3, 1-2 in the Big Ten West. Much out there to achieve yet.
Yeah, no doubt. I mentioned earlier the bye week came at a perfect time. I mean, it's right in the middle of the season, and we knew before the season started that would be helpful no matter how we were playing. But because we've been struggling, particularly on offense, it just came at a great time for the players and the coaches to kind of catch their breath mentally and physically, get rested up, and then just start preparing. There's a lot to play for. We have 6 games left. You know, one of the things that, you have the chance to do is reflect a little bit at the halfway point. And just, I feel first and foremost for our players. When you put all that time, effort, energy, hard work into it, and you don't come out on top, and you're not having success, it doesn't mean you're not working as hard as you can, but it's frustrating for them. And so I certainly feel for them and look forward to them having a little bit more success in the second half. I feel for the fans. I absolutely hear the fans, the frustration they're feeling, and they're frustrated because they've become accustomed to high-quality championship-level football, and the AD's frustrated, the head coach is frustrated, the fans are frustrated, and I'm grateful that passion exists. And when we go into Kinnick Stadium, it's a special place because of those fans, and we hear the frustration. I know we'd all like to find that button in Kirk's office where we can just push and everything's fixed. And realistically, obviously, that's not possible. I mean, the coaches are working on adjustments, but we're not going to overhaul our offense in the middle of the season, the whole scheme. We're certainly going to look for ways to change and improve. And Kirk has been down this path before, and so a great confidence in Kirk because of that. Not because I just want to say I have confidence in him, but for 23 years and the 17 that I've been here, when we hit these low points, particularly on the offensive side, he stays calm, he stays focused, he doesn't panic, and he's shown that he can pull us through it, and that's what we're going to do as we head into the second half.
Yeah, thankfully, Kirk and his staff have produced many more good years than average years. I can only think of 2 or 3. You go by the record. The record speaks for itself. It's outstanding. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame at some point. But the fan base, and I get it. We're only interested in the here and now. What conversations have you had with Kirk? And Brian reports to you directly. I thought Brian gave a very good accounting of himself last week at the press conference that he attended with Phil Parker and LeVar on special teams. But they always seem to be upbeat and up front.
That's one of the things when I say I have great confidence in Kirk. You referenced the past 4 years we've been ranked in the top 25. We've won 4 of our last 5 bowl games. All those things matter. At the moment, it hurts, but all those things in that past, all the success that Kirk has had, I do go to practice on a fairly regular basis. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been to a few practices. What impresses me always is the fact that the mood is upbeat. As frustrated as we might be from the loss the week before, the team is still all moving in the same direction. And you talk about the offense struggling, and yet the defensive coaches and players are supporting their teammates and trying to, what Phil says is, hey, if we don't let them score, we're going to win the game, and understanding that, when the offense is struggling, the defense is going to pick it up. So the mood is positive. Kirk, I've had good conversations with Kirk. I've had good conversations with Brian. Again, if there were, if there were a button you could push and restart everything, you would, but that's not how it works. You talk about, okay, how can we improve in the offensive line? How can we improve at the quarterback? How can we improve as coaches? How can we and make adjustments, but not wholesale change the offense in midstream? That's just not practical. So I have great confidence because of the past, and when we have had those down moments, Kirk's been able to guide them through it.
You played quarterback for a great program at North Dakota State, and most of their Saturdays have been outstanding at North Dakota State from now way back when. You won a national championship when you were quarterbacking. Every day was not a good day. How, as an athlete, did you pick yourself back up from maybe a disappointing performance and say, hey, we always got next Saturday? I know there's a 24-hour rule. You flush it after that, but it goes deeper than that.
Well, that's the beauty of being on a team. You have your internal process that you go through to try to flush it, to try to move forward. But then you have people around you that are supporting, everybody's supporting each other. And that's one of the things that Kirk has done over the years, is create an environment where when things aren't going well, everybody pulling together. So you have the individual process that you go through. And then when you show up for work, you show up to get ready for the next game, you have 120 other people that are all lifting each other up.
That's good. It's like a company. Not every day is a good day at the office either, but you go in the next morning.
The difference between a company and a football team is usually the company, there aren't tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people watching your success or failure in that company, whereas
unless they're investors.
Well, unless they're investors, and then the stock market is that measure. But the fact that our student athletes do what they do, they do what they love to do, and they're pouring their heart into it, and they're having to do it on a stage where when you win, it's great because tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people watch you win. But when you're struggling, you're out there in front of everybody, and that's another reason I'm so proud of our student athletes. They come back, they stand up to the media and answer the questions, and then they go back to work.
Well said. I appreciate you coming by tonight, Gary. Before we let you go, we want to, you are just recently former chair of the College Football Playoff Committee, and I've been reading some articles during the bye week about the expansion to 12 playoff teams as early as 2025 and 2026, but it could be sooner. What are you hearing? What can you release, or at least let us in in on tonight?
Well, I doubt I'll share anything that hasn't been at least talked about in the media. I think it's pretty much understood by college football fans that, yes, there is a pretty strong commitment to go to 12 teams. The latest it would happen would be 2026, but there is an effort right now to look at the possibility of having that start as early as 2024 or 2025. It sounds simple, right? It sounds like, well, just do it. Just go ahead and well, you have, you extend the season now for that many more players and their health and safety and playing more games. You have to find out, where do you play those games? Well, one idea is to play them on campus. Playing games in Kinnick Stadium in December with the snow and the pipes freezing and some of those challenges. We'll have to figure that out, and we will. The other thing is playing those playoff games. We have contracts. All the conferences have contracts with bowls, and those contracts run through up to the 26th season. So the bowls would have to be involved in working with the CFP on the contract. So there's a commitment to try to do it. I think there's momentum that's been created to get it done. But it's not as simple as just just do it. And there's a lot of people. In fact, I know it's been reported that the commissioners are meeting again this week down in Dallas, and they'll take the next step at trying to figure it all out.
Well, maybe we'll know more by Saturday in Columbus. We can revisit that issue. Lastly. Timing is everything. On the way down here today, I heard about women's hoops, Lisa Bluters, and we knew with all 5 starters back from last year, this team was going to be highly ranked. Here they are, number 4 on the Associated Press coaches poll out of the gate. Congratulations to Lisa and Caitlin and Monica and McKenna and Kate and Abby and on down the roster.
Yeah, it's as we all know, preseason polls are based on one thing. And that's last year's success and who's coming back. And, incredible success last year. And the entire starting lineup coming back for Coach Bluter this year. So we're thrilled. I know Coach Bluter's thrilled to be ranked 4th at the beginning of the season. I know she'll be even more thrilled if we can get that or higher as we finish up the season. So there's a journey between now and then.
Sure is.
And I can't wait for that journey to begin. And it's coming quickly to Carver Hawkeye Arena.
1-800-IA-HAWKS if you'd like to order tickets for Hawkeye women's and men's basketball, or log on to HawkeyeSports.com. Before we take a break here, our buddy Greg Morris, who's been the longtime football equipment manager for the Hawkeyes, was involved in a very serious automobile accident over the weekend, and Greg is very, very fortunate. I talked to him today. He's rehabbing, several broken bones and a lot of bruises and bumps on that body of his, but he's recuperating at home. Was in the hospital for a few days. He applauded standing O for the staff at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, as we do seemingly every week, and what a great job they did in taking care of him. And so, Greg, I know you're listening. We wish you all the best. He's going to miss his first football game in 35 years.
You talk about a dedicated Hawkeye, lives right over in Solon, and I had a chance to catch up with him, and early on, the seriousness of the accident that he was in, there were a lot of serious issues that he had to work through, and had surgeries, and to your point, so grateful that he's still with us, and so grateful that he's able to talk. And I think if the doctor would let him, he'd find a way to Ohio State, but I'm confident the doctor is not going to let him, and I'm certain his wife is not going to let him. So unfortunately, he is going to miss the first game in that many years. But more importantly, just thoughts and prayers, and Greg, heal up and get back.
We're thinking of you, Greg, indeed. And his gift for a conversation, that has not lost any of its touch. He's always positive and upbeat, and he will be this weekend while he's tuned in. Gary, thanks for stopping by. Good stuff on Kirk and Brian and football, and we'll move forward.
Can't wait. The second half of the season, there, as I said earlier, there's so much to play for. Yes, there's frustration, but we're going to find a way through it, and can't wait to get started.
That's Hawkeye Athletic Director Gary Barta. We're at View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City, cranking up from here on out. Every Wednesday night we'll be here with Hawk Talk with the head football coach, Kirk Ferentz, who will join us in about 15 minutes. Let's take our first break of the night. I want to thank KCRG 9.2 for televising our get together each and every week, 90 minutes of Hawk Talk here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. You can reach us, by several channels, on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks for a question or a comment for Coach Ferentz. We've got a number of those already lined up on the computer. We'll get to those as soon as Kirk arrives. We're brought to you tonight by Bud Light. Hawk Talk and Bud Light with Kirk Ferentz is sponsored by Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes Hawk fans to Kinnick Stadium this year. Bud Light is for the fans. And by our friends at U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless and official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Join the national network built by locals for locals. Back to the View rooftop in the Hilton Garden Inn right after this on Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Hi, welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
What about the one that takes incredible pictures?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
How about this giant cardboard phone?
Oh, that stays.
At US Cellular, new and current customers choose any phone they want for free. That's any brand, model, or size. Free for everyone. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I thank you.
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Draft Day Sports Lounge is the ultimate place to watch the game, have some fun, and show off your golfing skills with Top Golf Swing Suite. Top Golf Swing Suite in Draft Day delivers a one-of-a-kind simulation that's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike. Pair that with Draft Day's live sports viewing, local craft beers, and delicious menu, and you have a winning pair. Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, home of the Draft Day Sports Lounge and Top Golf Swing Suite, just minutes south of Iowa City.
We're back at View Rooftop in the Hilton Garden Inn here in Iowa City. View Rooftop at the top of the 12th floor here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. This is Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz. Gary Dolphin, as usual, your humble host, and thank you so much for listening in tonight, tuning in. Thanks again to Iowa Athletic Director Gary Barta, setting the record straight on his conversations with both Kirk and Brian Ferentz at practice the last couple weeks, and, of course, in their face-to-face get-togethers. Iowa 3-3, 1-2 in the Big Ten as they head to Columbus against the extremely talented and high-powered offense of the Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked number 2, 6-0 on the year, and 3-0 in the Big Ten with victories. They started right out of the gate on opening night, defeating Notre Dame 21-10, and that served notice. That was in South Bend, serving notice that the Buckeyes were legitimate And the last two games, they likewise had a bye last week. They put 49 points on the board against both Michigan State on the road and Rutgers at home. C.J. Stroud, he is something special. Through 6 touchdown passes in both those games. And his numbers on the year, he's completing 70% of his passes, 24 touchdown throws to 3 interceptions. He is the real deal. As for the Hawkeye defense, it's the real deal as well. Logan Lee, much impressed with C.J. Stroud.
He likes to throw the ball, and he's not always looking to run like some of the other guys we've played in the past. So could be a good opportunity for us to be able to create more pressure just due to him wanting to throw the ball more. They're just a very consistent team. They're very, very good at doing what they do. They don't have a ton of crazy formations or anything that are really misleading. It is all straight at you, and they're very good at putting points on the board.
That is Logan Lee, who's had a really good season to this point. He leads the down lineman in total tackles. He's got a couple sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss. He'll be right in the middle of that fray on Saturday. Special teams have been outstanding. We mentioned Torrey Taylor and his 46-yard average. And the offense hopes to take another baby step or a big step forward this weekend. It's a big homecoming for Iowa's next star tight end, Luke Lachey. You know, his dad, Jim Lachey, who does the analyzing or the color commentary on the Ohio State radio network. Jim was an All-American, a great player at Ohio State, won a number of Super Bowls with the then Washington Redskins, now the Washington Commanders. And young Luke Lachey chats with Dad on a regular basis.
So we always talk football either the day after the game or the Saturday after. So it just, however it works out, like that. Well, that's what we'll do. So I remember against when we played Michigan and they played Rutgers. He called me after the Rutgers game, and we talked for a little bit. And then we'll always talk on Sunday about the game or just about life. So I'll probably look up there during the warm-ups or when we go out for pre-warm-ups even. I'll probably look up there and see what he's up to. But also my uncle is the equipment manager, Rob Lachey, and I might see him before the game, but we'll see what happens because he'll be on the field. I know my dad won't be on the field, so.
Yeah, maybe Luke can get a little insight as to how to attack the Buckeyes on Saturday. I doubt that, but the young man is very engaging. We had him as our star of the game, our best of the best, our Old Dominion best of the best a couple weeks back. He's caught 9 passes on the year. He's averaging 17 yards a catch. So Spencer Petras will be looking for Luke Lachey. He's got a touchdown grab, which was a great catch in, I believe it was the Michigan game, right at the goal line a few weeks back. Luke Lachey, who's got some Ohio roots. He grew up in Columbus. We're at the top of the hour. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Station ID break here on the Hawkeye Radio Network, where you're listening to Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz. Be aware and be on the lookout for our farmers, our farm friends. They're motoring down most main and secondary roads, gravel roads this time of the year as the crop is being gathered. Those cornfields and bean fields are getting shaven clean, but watch out. Those flashers will be on, and we've had a number of fatal accidents in Iowa in the last few weeks already, so be careful. Give our farmers a break. Iowa Corn reminds you that when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Take a closer look and you'll discover the many connections you have to corn. And those connections translate into wins for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using hashtag IowansWin. Designed and crafted with an exceptional attention to detail, Authentic Brand is our choice for our Hawkeye Game Day apparel. Shop their exclusive selection at authentic-brand.com. Authentic-brand.com, where the service is always great and the shipping is free. Make Authentic Brand your gear of choice. We're at View Rooftop at the top of the Hilton Garden Inn on the 12th floor. Got time to come on out and join us tonight. We've got room for you, and they certainly would love to have you down here on game day this this Saturday when the Hawkeyes play at Ohio State. 11 o'clock kick, 9 o'clock airtime here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Coach Ferentz will join us in just a few minutes. This is Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz from Learfield.
Fans, this is Bruce Gerlman, and I own Splash Seafood Bar and Grill. Have you been to Splash lately? Come back downtown and let me spoil you. White linens, fresh flowers, candlelight, award-winning wine lists, professional staff, and best of all, my fresh fish are jetted in from Hawaii every morning. Enjoy my homemade lobsters, Alaskan king crab, fresh oysters from the cold, clear, clean waters of the Pacific Northwest. My favorite is the surf and turf featuring my hand-cut prime steaks and lobster. Splash, a truly special evening of adult indulgence.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
You did it, Iowa! You've won more than $20 million in jackpots this year from Wild Rose Casino and Hotel. And we're not stopping anytime soon. Winning is more fun at Wild Rose. From jackpots to cars to cash and more. We've got 20 million reasons and more why you'd rather be here. Wild Rose Casino and Hotel.
Must be 21 or older. If you or someone you know needs gambling treatment, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Golden Harvest, our best skill is knowing how to listen. From our Gold Series soybean and game-changing corn portfolios to our expert insights housed in the Illuminate digital agronomy platform, everything we offer is an answer to what we've heard from you. This is how we listen.
Copyright 2021 Syngenta. The trademarks or service marks used herein are the property of the Syngenta Group Company. All other trademarks are the property of their respective owners.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
We're back at View Rooftop and Hawk Talk with Iowa football coach Kirk Ferentz. Kirk will be arriving shortly. In the meantime, let's talk about some of the other sports. I mentioned with Gary Barta a little bit ago the excellent job put in by the Iowa men's golf team, thanks to former Big Ten Golfer of the Year, and he is, by the way, the co-golfer of the week, Mac McClear. The Hawkeye men's golf team won the Iowa Invitational down the road at Riverside, Blue Top Ridge. Mac McClear was the individual medalist at -2. He had rounds of 70, 72, and 72. And you go back to last, was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The weather conditions were far from ideal. And if you play Blue Top Ridge, that is that can be a demonic golf course for your game. It might pump your handicap up just a bit. But that said, the Hawkeyes rallied from a number of strokes down, got to within one, and then on the final day roared past Valparaiso and got the victory in the Iowa Golf Invitational. Iowa had a couple young golfers at +4. And as a matter of fact, all 7 of the Iowa players that competed in this tournament finished in the top 25. So congratulations to Coach Tyler Stith and the Iowa men's golf team. The 5th-ranked Iowa field hockey team lost back-to-back matches for the first time this season, and a pair of shutout losses, no less, 2-0 to 10th-ranked Michigan over the weekend, and the same score at the hands of number 21 Ohio State last Thursday. The Hawkeyes were outshot by Michigan 21-3. Now, that doesn't happen to Lisa Salucci's crew very often. The Hawks still a very glossy 10-5 overall record and 3-4 in the Big Ten, with another matchup with the Wolverines coming up this Sunday over in Evanston at Evanston, Illinois, at a neutral site. It's about halfway between Ann Arbor and Iowa City, and they both had an open date, and for their NCAA tournament resume, thought it would be good to play each other again. So Iowa will play Michigan in its regular season finale coming up this weekend. The Iowa women's soccer team on Senior Day blanked Nebraska 4-0 Sunday at the Hawkeye Soccer Complex. Congratulations to Coach Diani and that senior class that registered 3 of the 4 goals in the persons of Haley Rydberg, Natalie Massa, and Rydberg again. Goalkeeper Macy Enneking fielded 5 saves, and the Iowa defense recorded its 6th shutout of the year. The Hawks are now 4-6-6 on the fall. They tied Purdue at 2-2 last Thursday. Seeing some stock footage there from our friends at KCRG 9.2. And I'm happy to report that the Hawkeye women's volleyball team gave a great effort, but dropped a pair of matches to 5th-ranked Power Wisconsin and number 14 Penn State at Extreme Arena out in Coralville over the weekend. The Badgers swept the Hawkeyes 3-0, including 27-25 in the first set, when the Hawks served twice for the win, but both were out of bounds. So clearly, Coach Jim Barnes has that volleyball team trending in the right direction. And they'll be, of course, at Extreme Arena again, not only this year, but in fact, I think they got Minnesota coming in here in the next couple days. We'll double check that on the schedule. But that Extreme Arena is just the perfect backdrop for Coach Barnes and that trending upward Iowa women's volleyball team. Congratulations to Coach Barnes, and keep it going. We're brought to you tonight by View Rooftop here in downtown Iowa City. Kirk is settling in now with his headset, and we'll get Coach on here in just a minute. But in the meantime, you can experience a high-energy rooftop bar with spectacular views of downtown Iowa City and Johnson County. View Rooftop, located on the 12th floor of the Hilton Garden Inn, features a distinctly modern escape filled with a unique outdoor design. Open all day on Hawkeye football game days with tailgate specials. View Rooftop provides a memorable experience where food, music, and fantastic views of the Iowa City skyline are concerned. Here's the phone number to call for reservations. Please do that now. 319-519-4650. 319-519-4650. Set up your View Rooftop reservation this evening for the Buckeyes and the Hawkeyes in Columbus on Saturday. Well, welcome back, Coach Ferentz.
It's been a while. Good to see you.
Yeah, been a few weeks. Yeah, I know you were pouring through statistics and reams of material over the 2-week bye week, but did you have a chance to get away and enjoy the family and the grandkids?
A little bit on Saturday, but and we were home every night, which was good outside of during recruiting period there. So that part's always good. It's good to be home and just have a normal evening. A little time to collect your thoughts a little bit, those types of things. And then Saturday was a good day. It was pretty relaxed.
Did you watch any football Saturday?
A little bit, but not much. Yeah, quite frankly. Yeah.
You're pretty, typically coaches like you are zoned into the next opponent, and that's about as far as your binders or your blinders will let you look, right?
It was a chance to maybe get a jump on this week, because you're doing a lot of other stuff during the course of the bye week itself. More focused on our players and seeing what we could do to move them forward a little bit, and then spent a day recruiting on Friday. I was out all day Friday, which was therapeutic. It's great, actually. Sure. Fun to get into high schools and visit with coaches, and just have a chance to be at a game. And so anyway, that was a late night getting back, but Saturday got a haircut. That was good. And had a nice long walk with my daughter, about 90 minutes. That was good. And then, spent a little time looking at these guys on Saturday. And then that evening had the TV on, but really wasn't watching intently.
So, Kirk, let's go back to the end of the Illinois game. essentially what has happened from that Saturday night down in Champaign-Urbana to present day. Had chances to win, had chances to get the lead, 9-6 final. I know that stings, but there are many facts and facets that enter into a football game from start to finish, and the Hawks in the end gave great effort, just a little bit short.
Yeah, and as it turns out, Illinois looks like a pretty good football team. We thought we had a lot of respect for them going in, and they're sitting here right now with one loss, 3-point loss, and flip the table. We've had 2 3-point losses, and that, when you're playing close games, you've got to find a way to be successful. To your statement earlier, there are 5-6 plays anytime you have a 3-point game that could have really swung or altered things, and then part of it affects momentum too, and that you just never know what it's going to take you if you can execute those things. So that really has been our focus, whether it's after week 2 or after this past game. Is just doing a better job of making the makeables, being more fundamentally sound, and then to win football games consistently, you have to do that. And then the other part, and that's going to factor into this week, you have to do something a little bit extra too. And we've done more of that on defense than offense right now. Hopefully we can start generating a little bit more consistency offensively and get some big plays out of that. But you can't really force that stuff. It's just a matter of, staying at it, trying to do a little bit better, and then letting good things happen.
Have you paid attention to one facet of the offense over others, or has it been pretty much a general do-all?
Well, yeah, I think it's, a couple of things I would focus on. Me personally is we've kind of had 2 major challenges, I think. A little younger in the offensive line than maybe we would hoped, and we've had some injury stuff that's kind of impacted and influenced it. So just, getting cohesion there, continuing to see those guys improve and get a little bit better and work together a little bit more cohesively, which I thought we took a big step in the Michigan game, but not so sure. In fact, I'm sure we didn't at Illinois. We didn't play maybe as well as I had hoped. So, we're just going to keep working with those guys and keep pushing them forward, and hopefully we see growth with each and every week. And then the other aspect, I think, of focus on the offense would be the outside perimeter. And, parts of that aren't going to change. But the good thing is we do have Nico back full now. Brody Brecht has been on the field, whatever it is, like 7-8 weeks now, which really is like the first 7 or 8 weeks he's been with us. He was injured last year, injured all summer long, injured in camp. So he's back practicing now and improving with each practice. So that's helpful. And then Deontay Vines hopefully is going to be cleared here. It looks like he is. He's been practicing pretty well here the last couple of weeks. So, we got a little bit more octane than we did back in September, and hopefully that'll add to our tight ends. And, Arlen Bruce has been doing a good job. So I think, at least that gives us a little better depth, if you will, and a little bit better production, hopefully, on the outside. Tell us about Deontay Vines. I know you've been high on him ever since he stepped on campus, but he hasn't had a chance to play for a variety of reasons. Yeah, it's just it's kind of like talking about Brody. We're so excited to have Brody join us a year ago, August, and broke a bone in his hand right off the bat. So that's not a good thing for receivers. That pretty much put him out of the season. And then he was, playing baseball in the spring, and just had, injury issues all summer long. So it's been good to get him back. And then Deontay, and as I said earlier, we're really excited about Brody. And Deontay's the same kind of story, except, he's had some really weird stuff happen to him, starting with an Achilles right off the bat. And, that's really uncommon for this age group. Not totally uncommon, but it doesn't happen frequently. So, it's been one thing kind of after another. And then this year he was really doing well in August, and unfortunately fell and broke a bone in his arm. So, it was obviously kind of disappointing. And he's a great young guy. I mean, he's doing a great job in the classroom. Can't remember if it was last year or the year before. One of the gifts the kids could get for bowl gifts was pots and pans, and he ordered pots and pans. What college kid does that? I was really curious, and he was sending them home to his mom. Like, who does this? This is that's kind of kid he is. He's just a great young guy. So, but it's been frustrating. So I know he's really eager to get back with the team, and it'll be good. Just and again, it's not all on him, but it'll be just good to have a bigger group with a little bit more experience and depth. Are you confident that? And let me interrupt. I say experience. He really hasn't played. Yeah, he hasn't played. But he's a really good prospect. He's been there. I say the experience because he's been here a couple of years now, and he knows our offense. And I think is a very talented young guy. So he's got a great future. We're just excited to get him back.
Are you confident that we'll see Keegan Johnson this year?
I can't answer that. It's just, it's been a series of injury issues, and those are things you can't predict. So we'll see. If he gets back, that'd be great. We've all seen him play, and all of us are excited about him. Again, tremendous young man. But he's just really, injuries are something really, it's part of the game, unfortunately, and some guys have worse luck with it than others, and right now it just hasn't gone well for him.
As you know, as long as you've been in this game, the quarterback always is wearing the flak jacket. I mean, they're going to be the focal point of start with the quarterback, where criticism, the fan base is going to begin with the quarterback. How's Spencer doing? How's he handled all this mentally, let alone physically?
I think well, and I don't want to say I was worried about him, but I was certainly concerned a couple weeks ago just because of the negativity, and this has been kind of beaten up in public, I guess, or, worn out, maybe not beaten up, but worn out the topic. It's just really hard to evaluate players, when things aren't working quite the way you would want them to. So between our lack of experience outside due to injuries, at least that was a big factor. And I say experience, a guy like Brody Breck should be a 2-year player right now in a normal world.
Yeah.
Keegan would be out there in a normal world, and Deontay would have been out there in a normal world. Nico would have been out there all fall in a normal world. But football's not normal, so those things happen. When they happen, it affects things, and we've had some issues up front the same way. So, those are, and I'm not sitting here making alibis, but that's just, part of the reason things aren't going quite the way you want. The ironic part was I was feeling pretty good, mid-August about where we were at offensively. But, these things factor in. It makes the challenge a little bit tougher. But nobody's, we're just going to keep pushing forward. And nobody's got their feelings down or anything like that. And I think Spencer's doing great. And Alex is doing well, too. They're both practicing well. So hopefully we can just start pushing forward here a little bit.
What have you seen from the offensive line coach since the Illinois weekend, the last 2 weeks?
They came out to practice last week and had a good attitude and worked hard. And, it's practice is important for everybody, but especially younger guys. And when I'm throwing the term out there, younger, not only in terms of their chronological age. And I think we started 3 sophomores and 4 sophomores and a freshman the last time out. So, every snap with the younger guys, it's that much more important just to get that work and get that cohesiveness, start to get that developed a little bit. And it's important, going back to Spencer, it's important for him to work with the guys that are going to be in the game. And so, it was really good to be on the field a couple times last week and get some work in with those guys without overworking them, because they've done a lot for 10 weeks straight. So we wanted to, move forward, but also not wear them out, and have everybody ready for these 6 weeks.
On the other side of the football, the Iowa defense is top 10 in every major statistical category, allowing less than 10 points a game. That's a big factor heading to Columbus. When we come back from a break, we'll do our Club Car Wash keys to the game with Ohio State with Coach. But I do want to mention Jack Campbell and Torrey Taylor today named to a number of multiple midseason All-America teams as put out by The Athletic, ESPN, Sporting News, and CBS Sports. And many of these same guys, I've got some familiarity there, being a Heisman Trophy voter. But many of the guys at these facilities or at these entities vote on All-American teams at the end of the year, too. So my point is, it's legitimate. It's tremendous kudos to both Jack and Torrey Taylor, and well-deserved.
Yeah, they're both very deserving. They're both outstanding players, and awards at the end of the year mean a lot more. But to your point, this is not like just somebody writing something down. It's legitimate and certainly earned. And I'll go way out on a limb here and say, I think both these guys are going to continue to play really well. They're just really good football players. They're veteran players, and beyond that, they're like outstanding guys. Like both, we talked about Deontay's a really tremendous young person. I got to say about a lot of guys on our team, but certainly Jack and Torrey. Both have good stories, both tremendous players, and they're all about the team. So that's probably the biggest message I could share with people listening, is that we got great young guys in our program, and they all want to win. They all care about each other, and they're all working hard trying to push this thing forward. And, I think the biggest thing, right, I try to emphasize our team. I think they're fully on board. We're halfway through right now. We still have 6 opportunities, and a lot of really good things can come out of this season, and that's our mindset right now. And, for last week, it was about those 6 games. Now this week, starting Sunday, it's been all about Ohio State.
Good mental focus, good approach. Coach, take a break. We'll come back with Kirk Ferentz and your comments and questions on Facebook and on Twitter. On Twitter, you can reach us at Gary Dolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. Hey, Hawk fans, when the Hawkeyes win, you win. 2 days after a Hawkeye football victory, buy 1 delicious pothole frozen pizza from Quick Star with quick rewards, and you get a second one free at any Quick Star location. Pothole pizza at Quick Star, proud partner of Hawkeye football. And secure your spot today at the Hawkeye Block Party Tailgate, powered by Kubota. The package includes a ticket to the game as well as a pregame tailgate, which includes live music, an upscale all-you-can-eat buffet, beer, wine, and non-alcoholic beverages at the Hawkeye Block Party. Get your seats by calling 1-800-IA-HAWKS, 1-800-IA-HAWKS, or visit HawkeyeSports.com/group tickets. The Hawkeye Block Party Tailgate, powered by Kubota. Back to View Rooftop in just a minute, right after a pause to hear from our sponsors on Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz from Learfield.
Hey Hawkeyes, this is Kirk Ferentz. We've been working hard all year long, just like Iowa's corn farmers do. Because when the Hawkeyes take to the field and Iowa corn farmers take to theirs, Iowans win. You want to support Iowa's corn farmers? It's easy. Buy corn-fed meat, dairy, and eggs. Fill your cup with safe drinking water right from the tap, and fuel your vehicle with clean, renewable, homegrown E15 and unleaded 88. Now, who's ready for some Hawkeye football?
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Oh, you know that old injury of yours? The one in your knee or maybe back? Instead of going to the doctor and then doing physical therapy, why not start with therapy first? Athletico Physical Therapy is changing the whole healing process around. Their physical therapists will find the source of your pain and help fix it. Start with them and start living pain-free. Just like that.
It all starts with Athletico Physical Therapy. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com. No prescription needed. Proud partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
At MidAmerican Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
Gary Dolphin here. You've heard me talk about Authentic Brand's premium Hawkeye apparel. But did you know that Authentic Brand manufactures a full suite of made-to-order company merch with infinite colors and decoration options and detailed trims that make your branding pop? Insist on the Authentic Brand label from your supplier or get connected to one of their authorized project partners. Visit authentic-brand.com and search the word project. Again, that's authentic-brand.com and search the word project.
Hey, we're back at Hawk Talk View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City. Thanks to the staff, wait staff, the bartenders, the administration here at View Rooftop for hosting Hawk Talk with Coach Kirk Ferentz each and every Wednesday night from 6:30 until 8. After the bye week, we'll be here each and every Wednesday from here on out. This week, all the talks about the Hawkeyes and the Buckeyes. And Coach, before we get to our Club Car Wash keys to the game, Laura on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks says the Hawkeye marching band is traveling with the team to Ohio State and performing a joint halftime show. What does Coach think about the extra support a big student section with brass instruments gives the team during a road game? Now, I was reading about this. This is the first time, at least if you believe the print, first time ever that Ohio State has had a visiting team's band join them for the halftime show. So they're breaking down some barriers this weekend out at the shoe.
Yeah, what's the angle on that one? What do they have?
I don't have a clue. I'm going to ask Greg when we get on the plane Friday. I said, why Iowa? What's the deal? Are you going to dot the I too with the Buckeyes marching band? That's one of the great traditions, as you know, in college football. So it's, Columbus not far from your hometown or from your where you grew up in Pittsburgh, but it's a great area for football. All of the great tradition at Ohio State aside, Ohio is one of the great high school football states in the country. You recruited often.
It was, for a long time, and it remains that way. It's just a really strong football state. It's just part of the culture there, it seems, and it is. They've had a lot of players not only go to Ohio State, but a lot of Big Ten schools, and tremendous. And now you see Cincinnati rising. Their program's really gotten better and developed, and they take a lot of the guys that maybe get overlooked by some other schools, and now they're beating Big Ten schools too for prospects. So, yeah, it's a great football state. And ironically, I grew up 3 hours from there, and really didn't follow the Big Ten very much as a young person. And it really wasn't until I came out here in '81 that I started paying attention. Everything for me growing up was more eastern.
And Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Penn State were the two teams that really kind of emerged over there. So Syracuse started to come along, and right on down the list, Boston College. So yeah, it is interesting how how different the world is from the '70s now to everybody's coast to coast now with their talk and all that kind of stuff. And back then it was more regional.
Well, congratulations to Laura and the Hawkeye Marching Band, one of the great bands in America.
My wife always has said that the kids in the band have more fun than anybody, and I always ask band members that, and they do verify that. They have a heck of a time, so we appreciate them going and supporting us.
Kelly says, my 13-year-old wants to know what he needs to start doing now so that it what does her 13-year-old, I assume it's mom, might be dad, Kelly. Well, regardless, parent Kelly wants to know, Coach, what his or her 13-year-old wants to know what he needs to start doing now so that he can be recruited by the Hawkeyes in 5 years. Well, if he's 13 now, he'll be you have most of the names on the board over at the Hanson Performance Center of kids that are coming on that you're interested in by position.
Yeah, that's a little bit young for us to start on, but he's got time certainly. And my advice would be, it's funny, I just was reading Coach Day's press conference remarks from yesterday. I was reading those today, and he cited the same thing that we've always been very interested in. Players we're attracted to, and apparently Ohio State is too, players that play multiple sports, which I know is not a very popular concept anymore, based on what I'm hearing from my kids. But playing multiple sports and playing multiple positions, that's, I think, really healthy for kids. And first guy I think of right now, as I'm saying, I can think of a million of our players. Micah Hyde always jumps in, because not many kids play baseball anymore. At least baseball, football doesn't seem to be a big thing. And Micah was an outstanding baseball player. And, I really believe that was part of his ball skills, because he had exceptional ball skills. So, playing multiple sports, I think, is good, multiple positions. And, anybody who wants to go to college, it's certainly a good idea to just, bolster their academic work, too. And that's, at the end of the day, that's going to be the most important thing.
Indeed. It is where Iowa's concerned, certainly, and most schools in the country. Coach, Adam wants to know, what did you learn about your team during the bye week? Thank you for how you represent Iowa, and go Hawks.
Well, I mean, I think we learn every day. But, you're always watching the guys, always kind of evaluating them. And, it was a tough loss, a disappointing loss, a late night getting back here, another late night. So we had about 3 of those in the first 6 weeks, 3 in the last 5 weeks prior to the break. So, I'm sure we're a little tired, and the one negative about a bye week, I guess, after a loss, and a normal progression, we're back at it Monday and moving on to the next opponent. So it lingers a little bit longer, but our guys have been resilient. They've got a good attitude. They handled the week, I think, well. Gave them a chance to get away for a couple of days there at the end of the week, and everybody came in Sunday ready to roll. So, and then football wise, we spent a lot of time as a staff talking about our personnel, pluses, minuses. And then, trying to figure out what can we do to maybe help them improve down the stretch here. So a lot of moving parts, but really pleased with the way guys have handled things. We've had a good week of practice, and now we got a Friday practice left, and we'll get on the plane and head over to Columbus with a big challenge in our hands.
One of those guys who's been on a roll ever since he came to Iowa is All-American cornerback Riley Moss. He was asked about the Ohio State offense.
Yeah, obviously, they're vertical threats, so you really got to be good with your hands and feet at the line and stuff. But I think, the biggest thing is just handling your responsibility and playing smart football because, the thing about Ohio State is they kill you with the big plays. So if we make them earn it and make them kind of drive down the field, that's a win in our book. So I think just eliminating the big plays and forcing them to kind of have to work for their yardage.
And with that, we roll into our Club Car Wash keys to the game, presented by the official car wash of the Iowa Hawkeyes, Club Car Wash, with unlimited membership starting at just $20 a month. There's no better time to join the club. Visit clubcarwash.com and find a location nearest you. Riley knows of what he speaks, Coach. He's been listening to Phil Parker's game plan, and if ever there's an offense that is a big play, explosive offense, the Hawks are going to see it Saturday.
Yeah, really true, and well said by Riley. And I think you just go back to their last game, the Michigan State game. It's a good example. Their first touchdown, I believe it was their first touchdown, was scored kind of in the left corner of the end zone, left pylon, front pylon. It was really a good coverage. The guy, they have outstanding receivers, and two of them are really off the charts. But it was good coverage. Their player made a really nice play. You can't criticize the defense. So they drove the ball, and then I think it was about a 25-yard pass, something like that. And, those are the kinds of things that, when you have good players, every now and then they're going to win just like we're going to win some of those battles. But where I'm going on this thing, the next two touchdowns were long passes and a busted coverage, and then another coverage that wasn't played very well. So, when you do that, all of a sudden it's 21 points on the board. And boy, when you watch their scores, they get a lot of those. They'll take shots down the field, maybe as many shots down the field as anybody will play. So, if you're not sounding your coverage, you're just, it's sudden death right there. You can't do that because they're just too good on defense, too good offensively. So you got to Riley's point, you got to make them work it, and make them, hopefully you can force them into a mistake. And probably the most impressive thing for watching these guys, Notre Dame's the only team this year that's made them work, and they didn't give up that big play. So the easy play, the broken coverage kind of play. So they ended up losing in the end, but it was that's how you got to play defense. You really got to contest them. And it's a little bit like the team we played a couple weeks ago. You can't load up in one area because they're just too balanced right now. So, but to Riley's point, the big play strikes, those are the things, if you don't eliminate that right off the bat, it's going to be a long day.
Kirk, 5 years ago when these teams last met at Kinnick, we got a good look at J.T. Barrett up close, All-American quarterback. 2 years ago, Justin Fields was the 10th or 11th pick by the Bears in the draft, and now C.J. Stroud. In Ohio State's the perception's always been the great power running game, and the quarterback's there to hand the ball off and maybe hit the tight end on a slant. Boy, how times have changed at that position for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, 20 years ago it was kind of that way.
Yeah,
and
Krenzel.
Yeah, and all they did was win a national championship in 2002 doing that.
That's right.
So that worked out pretty well for him. But yeah, since that time, the mid to 2005, right on through, the kid from Glenville, I think was the first guy that really kind of got him going. And I'm brain farting right now on his name. And then they had Pryor, and it seems like every guy they had, Braxton Miller, every guy you recognize the name because they're awfully good. But
for sure,
they've definitely shifted their style in 20 years. And as I mentioned, they've really got good skill players. They're receivers. I knew we were up for it in a challenge last year during the draft. I think they had 2 guys go in the first round, and the commentators were saying, well, probably the best guy's still on campus. And that was not talking about Harrison either. So
no.
They got 2 really good players out there. But the running backs are strong. And I'm really impressed with their offensive line. I think that's where they've really taken a big step from a year ago. To me, they're playing more cohesively. Run and pass. They've been very, very impressive. So you're going to have to really work to make things happen against these guys.
Yeah, Paris Johnson is an All-American tackle. We were talking about that before you arrived here, Coach. They've given up 4 sacks in 6 games. Yeah. It's not a bad average.
Yeah, it's hard to move him off his spot. He almost looks bored back there at times.
Indeed. We're talking with Coach Ferentz on our Club Car Wash keys to the game with the Ohio State Buckeyes and Iowa coming up Saturday. We'll come back, talk more Buckeye keys to a victory for Iowa in just a minute. This is Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
You mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with 0 sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
What about the one that takes incredible pictures?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
How about this giant cardboard phone?
Oh, that stays.
At US Cellular, new and current customers choose any phone they want for free. That's any brand, model, or size. Free for everyone. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Time to redo this basement?
Yeah. A home gym, movie theater, model train utopia.
Or yoga studio?
I'm flexible-ish.
Great. I'll just use the US Bank mobile app so we can plan it out.
Which way are you leaning? Setting a savings goal or applying for a home improvement loan?
I say we look at both options, right here in the app.
Budget for a really good home gym. We deserve it.
Noted.
Help for today, planning for tomorrow. That's what US Bank is for. US Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. My players know that determination and strong will can lead to endless possibilities. For years, Iowa farmers have believed in that too. Farmers are the backbone of this country, and their dedication to bringing us food and energy has never been more important. That's why we're proud to wear the America Needs Farmers logo on our helmet. Join the Hawkeyes as we celebrate America's farmers. To learn more about ANF and pick up some great ANF merchandise, visit americaneedsfarmers.org.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. But what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately. Then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Hawkeye football at Ohio State Saturday. In the meantime, welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Kirk Ferentz from View Rooftop in the Hilton Garden Inn. We're sponsored by Wellmark. Blue is freedom to choose the doctors you want. Blue is affordable with plans to fit your budget because Blue is Medicare Advantage from Wellmark Advantage Health Plan. Get all-in-one plans with the confidence of being covered by Wellmark. Find the plan right for you at wellmark.com/touchdown. We're in the middle of our keys to a victory over the Ohio State Buckeyes this weekend, sponsored by Club Car Wash. Kirk's keys to the game are courtesy of Club Car Wash. You can log on and find the nearest location to you at clubcarwash.com. Unlimited membership starting at $20 a month. Kirk, we've been focusing on the offense. We were talking about the receivers. You know, Chris Olave was a great one. He was a top 10 draft pick, top 11 pick a year ago or last spring. Marvin Harrison, the son of the great Marvin Harrison of the Indianapolis Colts. Boy, like father, like son. This apple didn't fall far from the tree. Sophomore. He's 6'4". I don't think his dad was anywhere near 6'4", was he?
No. He's just a really good football player. Very impressive. And, you know, they're physical. Number 2 is very physical, too. So, you know, they're not, not little slight guys. These guys are big, strong guys. They play really well and been extremely productive.
Travion Henderson was their primary running back to start the year. He's was injured, slowed by injuries. In fact, he got hurt in the Notre Dame game right out of the gate. So they turn now and hand the ball off to Mayan Williams, and all he's doing is averaging I think it was 6 or 7 yards a carry when last I looked, but I don't know that Henderson will play Saturday. They held him out for a couple games, but he's the real deal, as is Mayan Williams. That's quite a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, they're very physical runners. Good vision, like you'd expect, but they're very, very physical guys, and so you got to really be ready. You better get low when you're tackling them and bring everything you got because they're strong.
Coach. Mayan Williams averages almost 8 yards a carry. Travion Henderson is at 6.5 yards a carry. That speaks to the big play, the chunk plays, big yardage plays. You got to limit those.
Yeah, and again, I'll go back to those guys up front. They really do a good job, and they don't throw the ball to the tight ends a lot, but they're definitely good blockers, and when they do throw to them, they've been very productive.
Offense, all the talk about the Buckeye offense, and it is prolific. They're averaging just under 54 points a game. The defense might get overlooked. Kirk, give us the highlights. Where are they strongest on the defensive side of the football?
Well, pretty much everywhere. So, and the other thing that jumps out at you, they play a lot of guys. So, in the back end, they're very athletic, like you'd expect. The linebackers have been doing a really nice job for him, and basically all these guys are highly recruited. And then up front, they probably roll about, seems like 10 guys total. 6 of them, 6, 7 of them play a lot, but they'll play as many 10 guys, and they all really have done a good job. And I think probably the biggest thing is they changed their defensive scheme in the out of season. Didn't play good defense at the end of the year last year for whatever reason. They just kind of struggle a little bit, and it's a different package. They hired a coach from Oklahoma State, and it's a different package in that their base defensive package would be 5 defensive backs and 2 linebackers instead of the other way around. So 3 and 4. So, it's a little bit different preparation. Kind of glad we had a bye week to just get used to them. And, but again, I think the thing that jumps out at you, they're aggressive, strong up front. They rotate guys, so they're always fresh. And they tend to play the lead a lot. That's kind of been the way it is, which is nice. And their offense time of possession has been pretty strong, too. So these guys aren't on the field an awful lot, too. So it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Coach Day has been involved in that program for a long time. Yep. He stepped in and stepped into a role as interim coach in some difficult situations when Urban Meyer left. But Ryan's never flinched. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job as the head coach.
He has, and been very, very impressive. He was on the staff when they visited here in 2017, and as you said, he emerged and. Has kind of steadied the ship there a little bit. Obviously done a really good job, and maybe you could argue growing the program too because they're recruiting really well. Not that they haven't in the past, but they're recruiting really well. They got good staffs on both sides. Just by watching the film, you can see there's not much that's the door's not left open too often. That's for sure. So, and Kevin Wilson, who was at Indiana for those years, is on the offensive side. Ryan Day's an offensive guy. So they've got a good plan, and Kevin always had tough offenses at Indiana as well. So it's a big challenge for our football team.
Those are Kirk's Keys to the Game. Club Car Wash is the sponsor of Kirk Ferentz. Club Car Wash, keys to the game and a victory over Ohio State. 11 o'clock for the kickoff, 9 o'clock for the pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network this Saturday morning. We'll come back with more with the coach in just a minute. But first, on behalf of Authentic Brand, We invite you to submit an interesting question each week via Twitter or Facebook for Coach Ferentz, and you could win a $100 gift certificate for Hawkeye gear from Authentic Brand. Tonight's winning question comes to us from Jerry on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. Coach, can you provide some insight on why Coach Fry's stand-up tight end never caught on with any of his assistants that went on to become offensive coordinator or head coach? Thanks, and go Hawks. Well, I know it's just an acquired taste for the stand-up tight ends, but how about you?
So that was one of my questions. I had a lot of questions when I got here in 1981, but one of them was, so why is that tight end standing up like that? And the guys that were with Coach Fry in North Texas explained it that I guess the tight ends they had there got injured, so they had to move a big receiver into the tight end position. That's all they had, and they kept the guy in a 2-point stance. And then Coach Fry kind of liked that; it was novel. So that came to Iowa. That concept came to Iowa with him. Yeah, like a lot of other good things. But anyway, yeah, it was just part of his trademark. And I'll never forget the one team that was impacted. Boston College sent a couple coaches here, 86, 87, somewhere in that ballpark, to investigate. It was in the Doug Flutie era. And what their takeaway was, they used it in third down situations, which makes a lot of sense. See the coverage is a little bit better,
sure,
and you're not often blocking. So, but they didn't do it on first, second down. So we were very unique in that regard. And I think, most of us just saw a little bit more benefit in being a 3-point. So, yeah, that's a good question because to that point, whether it was Dan McCarney, Barry Alvarez, Bill Snyder, I think all of us played with the guy down. Although I'm pretty sure Bill had his guy in a 2-point on passing downs like Boston College did.
Didn't you stand Dallas Clark up for a time?
Not intentionally, no, not intentionally. He may have been doing it, as a tribute, but no.
I love your story about the goal line against Michigan State.
Well, yeah, that was my suggestion. I said, Coach, those guys are pretty low over on the other side. I said maybe we wanted to get our guy on the goal line just to get in a 3-point, and he tried to tell me that no, they would get in a 2-point and match our pad level, which was not the case. made it kind of interesting.
Kind of like the white slacks.
Exactly.
Hayden always tried to get inside your head. It's that psychology degree he had, right?
Yeah, it worked pretty well for him, that's for sure. He was awfully successful.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you looked across the line of scrimmage back in the early days and saw Mike Flagg. Flagg had to be, 250, 255, which was big for tight ends.
He was huge for a tight end back then. John Alt was the biggest one we had.
John Alt.
Mike Hufford was a big guy, too. So, yeah, we had a lot of big guys.
There was always a theme to Hayden's creativity, wasn't it?
He always had people talking and wondering, That was part of his gift.
Hey, thanks, Jerry, for stirring the pot of memories tonight on the stand-up tight end at Iowa. All right, we'll got more coming here with Hawk Talk and Kirk Ferentz from Learfield right after this.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
Golden Harvest Gold Series soybeans are bred to win. These 19 varieties have strong agronomics within high-demand trait platforms like Enlist E3 soybeans for superior performance all season long. Gold Series soybeans also out-yielded Astro brand soybeans by an average of 1 bushel per acre in 5,542 comparisons. Grow gold at goldenharvestseeds.com/gold-series.
You did it, Iowa! You've won more than $20 million in jackpots this year from Wild Rose Casino and Hotel. And we're not stopping anytime soon. Winning is more fun at Wild Rose. From jackpots to cars to cash and more. We've got 20 million reasons and more why you'd rather be here. Wild Rose Casino and Hotel.
Must be 21 or older. If you or someone you know needs gambling treatment, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
Hi, welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
What about the one that takes incredible pictures?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
How about this giant cardboard phone?
Oh, that stays.
At US Cellular, new and current customers choose any phone they want for free. That's any brand, model, or size. Free for everyone. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
When our team takes the field, it's important to have a good game plan. The Iowa Secretary of State and I want you to have a good game plan for the November 8th election, too. It's important to have your voice heard by voting. You have options when it comes to casting your ballot, whether it's at the polls, your local election office, or from the comfort of your couch. Pick the play that works best for you. Remember these 3 important keys for the upcoming election. Visit voterready.iowa.gov, get in the game, and be a voter. Go Hawks.
Coach Ferentz at Hawk Talk from View Rooftop. Welcome back to the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Iowa City. We've got a few minutes left in the program. By the way, we mentioned Jerry is our winner on the Authentic Brand Hawk Talk feature each and every week for submitting our favorite question. Thanks to Authentic Brand for that $100 gift certificate we give away each Wednesday. You too can ask a question of Coach each week, and if we pick it by visiting Twitter at Gary Dolphin or on Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, Authentic Brand will award you a $100 gift certificate, too, for apparel. Authentic Brand, not only outfitting our broadcast crew on game day, but outfitting thousands of fans. Gear up for game day and every day in officially licensed Hawkeye apparel and accessories from Authentic Brand. Coach, we talked about the Ohio State defense and offense. How about special teams? Anything there sticks out? Their punter, Drew Stevens is their kickoff man. Their punter is averaging in the 40s. I mean, they're all averaging in the 40s these days, but they've always been solid on special teams. So athletic.
Imagine this, another Australian punter. Imagine that.
Don't tell me he's from Melbourne.
No, I'm not sure where. I'm not an expert on that geography, that's for sure. But
he's actually from Perth.
So
okay. This is our first one from Perth.
There you go. But they're good in all the phases. They got a lot of good athletes. I mean that's one thing you think about Ohio State. They're just a very talented, athletic team, and they're very well coached, and carries over to special teams as well. So that's an interesting deal. Number 2, the good receiver, he's back there on punt return. So, he's a dangerous guy at the ball in his hands at any time. And then one thing that's kind of unique, you'll see number 19, I believe it is, down there in the kick returns. And by trade, he's a linebacker. So you don't see that very often. It's a little bit different. I think he played running back in high school and must have done some returning there. But as you can see, he's a backup linebacker, a good linebacker, and you don't see linebackers backfielding punts too often.
That would be a first.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Podolak will have some kind of comment about that one.
It's interesting.
Chip Trainum, you speak of, a 225-pound, 5'11" from Akron. And number 2 you keep referring to is Emeka Egbuka, who will be out there paired with Marvin Harrison at the wideouts. And Phil, again, Iowa State's pretty base on defense historically. Norm Parker to Phil Parker. I don't look for any radical changes out of Phil and the defense this Saturday.
No, I mean, it's just we do what we do, and hopefully we can play it well. They've had a really, been doing really well this season. The number 1 stat on defense is points, and so we're doing a good job there. And I would say the same thing about Ohio State. I think I read they're 10th in the country or something like that. They're not giving up a lot of points either. So, it's just 2 well-coached teams that way.
Look forward to it, Coach. We'll come right back. We need a final break here on Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz from Bluefield, and then back to View Rooftop.
If you thought starting a business took courage, imagine starting over after a fire, damaging storms, or a cyber attack. When disaster strikes, business owners count on EMC for fast, experienced claim service. Our countrywide network of local offices ensures we're always ready to answer the call, investigate every claim, explain what's covered, and process payments as quickly as possible. Count on getting back to business when you count on EMC.
Hi, welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
What about the one that takes incredible pictures?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
How about this giant cardboard phone?
Oh, that stays.
At US Cellular, new and current customers choose any phone they want for free. That's any brand, model, or size. Free for everyone. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Honey, great news. I'm a VIP.
That's sweet. Don't forget the trash.
In life, not everyone recognizes you as the VIP you are, but the Iowa Lottery does.
We got a medium chai latte for VIP. VIP.
Join our VIP club by signing up at ialottery.com/VIP for exclusive Play It Again promotions, surprise contests, and even free plays. See how it works at ialottery.com/VIP because everyone is a very important player.
Woohoo!
Couple minutes left with Iowa football coach Kirk Ferentz on Hawk Talk from View Rooftop. Join us again Saturday, 9 o'clock for pregame coverage, 11 o'clock for the kick. Iowa at Ohio State. First time in 5 years they've played. The Hawks and the Buckeyes look forward to that. Entertain your clients on homecoming weekend for Northwestern. Hawkeye Village, located inside Duane Banks Field. There are tailgate packages, including game tickets with catered food and beverages prior to kickoff. All sponsored by Kubota. Visit HawkeyeSports.com for more information. And I mention here that Iowa Corn and Quickstar are partnering to give you a chance to win tickets to the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series matchup. Simply visit any participating Quickstar in Iowa through November 13th. Fill up with 8 or more gallons of unleaded 88 and use your Quick Rewards card, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win tickets. For more information and official rules, visit quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. Get pumped to win with Iowa Corn and Quickstar. Hawkeye Huddle will be held in Columbus on Saturday morning. If you're headed to the game, we certainly hope you are. Hawkeye Huddle will run from 9 until 11 at the Fawcett Center, which is located at 2400 Olentangy River Road in Columbus. That's right close to the Horseshoe, the stadium. Kirk, we've been there a few times. It's a great venue, an unbelievable loud, that cantilevered stadium. I'll never forget the Vandenberg freshman thrown into the fray out there in overtime. Hawks have had some great games out there under Hayden Fry and yourself. So, but it is a great atmosphere. It's what college football is all about.
It is, and it's been that way for a long time. They've improved it and grown it, certainly. But, that 09 game was a great game. It was essentially the Big Ten championship game, went into overtime, and it was James's first start, and he played just tremendous football, I thought. Really played with a lot of courage and moxie in that game. And then, 13 was a really good ball game, too. So that's the last time we've been there. It's been quite a while.
Well, we'll look forward to the trip to Columbus, Coach. Get the Hawks on a roll Saturday early, and we'll see you out there. Thanks so much for your time.
Sounds great. Thanks, Gary.
Coach Kirk Ferentz, I'm Gary Dolphin. Thanks for joining us at View Rooftop tonight in Iowa City. They're waiting for you on game day. We'll talk Saturday morning starting at 9 on the Hawkeye pregame show, 11 o'clock for the kick. Good night, everybody.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to Hawk Talk, presented by View Rooftop, downtown Iowa City. Also brought to you by Bud Light, it's for the fans. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa football. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. And by Iowa Office of Secretary of State. Visit voterready.iowa.gov. Get in the game. Be a voter. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.